On Matthews, who will come and speak to some of our tactical and response teams that will be present and prepared during the event.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is Sean Matthews. I'm Assistant Special Agent in charge here in the Atlanta office over our Operational Support Branch. Under that branch is a lot of our specialty teams and assets that will deploy for FIFA in support of our partners. I want to highlight two of those as our bomb squad operations. FBI Atlanta bomb technicians will work hand in hand with APD and our other partner agencies throughout the FIFA events. Bomb techs will respond to suspicious packages, suspicious vehicles, or any other call-outs necessary in support of the event. The public is encouraged to obviously see something, say something. If you do see something suspicious, please call 911 or call 1-800-CALL FBI. A second area I would like to highlight is our tactical SWAT and tactical presence during FIFA. FBI SWAT teams will maintain a high level of visibility around the FIFA events and will be downtown during all matches and fan days. Teams are highly trained and prepared to respond and to deploy at a moment's notice to any type of threat in the city of Atlanta, and their presence is intended to enhance public safety, and residents should not be a cause for alarm. They intentionally will be visible throughout the events. With those two things highlighted, I'll hand it back over to the SAC.
Thank you, Sean. So, the FBI will have a lead when it comes to the intelligence and threat monitoring, but we are not doing that alone. Our partners we are heavily engaged with our partners to ensure that we're monitoring potential threats, which we have been doing so for an extended period of time. We are actively working to identify and disrupt threats before they occur. Currently, there are no known threats to the FIFA games here in the Atlanta area. That being said, we want people to be aware that hoax threats will not be tolerated. They remain a huge concern for large public events. All threats, including those made by phone, text, email, or social media, will be taken seriously. Making threats is a federal crime. The public is encouraged, like Sean said, to report suspicious behavior concerning information to the FBI. Human trafficking during large-scale events is also known as a threat. However, we have human trafficking task forces that will be actively monitoring throughout the summer. Our efforts include identifying traffickers, assisting victims, working with victim advocacy organizations, and just so it's known that we have more than 1,000 human traffickers nationwide, but we are monitoring and ensuring that this will be a safe environment, and we will attempt to engage prior to ensure that threat is mitigated as much as possible. In closing, I want the public to know that this event is our top priority, and ensuring that it is safe and remains that way we are committed to that. FBI Atlanta wants to ensure that this is a successful event for players, fans, residents, and visitors. We want everyone to participate in the event, to know that it will be safe to be in downtown Atlanta for a fan fest and for participation in watching some of the games. The FBI encourages the public to remain vigilant when you are present downtown and report anything that you see that seems out of the ordinary to the FBI. Thank you.
All right, we can take a few questions. We'll make it short, Archie.
Can you talk to us a little about getting more agents from other parts of the country, given that we have so many here, in terms of staffing, where the agents are going to be? Is it going to just be in the area by Mercedes-Benz, or walk us through the awareness in terms of FBI agents across the region?
Yes, so because this is known, obviously, throughout our state, I actually have recently met with our other our other regional offices to let them know that, hey, if there is a crisis, if there is an event, we will rely on the region to actually bring forth resources to assist. But as far as Georgia is concerned, we are pulling from the entire state to support for the event. We have brought folks in town to support, I also additionally met with our entire office yesterday to notify all employees that we will be prepared to ensure that we cover to make the game safe. Wherever there's a gap that presents itself, we will cover down on to ensure that there is safety for the public.
Today's held 11/11. life. As you know, we've seen a lot of hoax threats go around the country. Right here in Atlanta, we just had one at the zoo. What are you guys going to do when those calls come in? Are you guys going to evacuate the whole entire stadium? I should say, if they come in. How do you guys plan on handling that? I guess pose the hoax to a real threat.
Yeah, so there's standard operational procedures that we will always follow when it comes to hoax threats, but we will take them seriously. We will cover to investigate it, and then we will deploy resources as needed depending on what we find.
But will you guys be, I guess, telling people to leave the stadium if you guys do get one of those threats? Because how do you guys deem it credible versus a hoax?
So naturally, there are ways in which you can determine where the phone call is coming from, where the email is coming from. You track those things, you run them to ground to determine if it is an isolated incident, meaning there is a one threat being reported, or if it has been a barrage of events being reported, or if it's a known number or a known email that's known to us to produce hoax, then we will identify that and let that be known, and that will dictate our response.
What role will the FBI play, if any, in securing Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport during the World Cup?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. There's a drone flying above.
What role will the FBI play in securing Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport during the World Cup, if any?
Sure, we have a presence at the Jackson Hartsfield International Airport, but I will say that we rely heavily on our partners. We are working with them all to ensure that there's safety. There's an increased presence in every avenue that is related to FIFA, and that, you know, across the board, whether it's FanFest, whether it's the facility where the game is played, Mercedes-Benz, or the airport. So there's an increased presence everywhere, and so we are part of that presence, and we will remain.
So we see the drone in the air now, and you guys talked about having drone migration or being able to attack or deal with drones that are in the area. Can you guys talk about the operation in terms of making sure the skies are safe, what you guys will be doing, what counterintelligence will you be using for drones? Will you put a no-fly zone around the area?
This is a perfect question for me to defer to my supervisor. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Aaron Hope. Can everyone hear me? Good afternoon, Aaron Hope. I'm the Supervisory Special Agent for our Crisis Response Squad. And so your question again was, what are we going to do for drone mitigation? So we're working with our partners right now to ensure that we have safe skies. Our biggest priority right now is messaging, making sure that individuals are aware that this is a no drone zone, and we want to ensure that that messaging gets out. Should there be the need for us to interdict a drone, we have the capability to do that. However, right now our primary focus again is just getting messaging out.
People like to fly drones, obviously, for taking pictures and stuff like that, but you're saying nowhere around that area can people fly drones?
That's correct. This is a no. This event is a no drone zone.
Will you guys shoot it down? Will you guys intercept the technology? What does that mean?
That's correct. So we do have technology that we can use to identify drones and then locate operators. And so that's something that we will be doing if we need to, if those circumstances allow.
Michael, the last time Atlanta hosted a global event like this was 96 Olympics. Obviously, we didn't have social media, the internet like it is today. What kind of challenge does social media and the internet play? And tell us how you guys are going to tackle it.
Sure. I would say that there's no challenge. It actually provides us a benefit. It provides us a benefit to reach broader audiences and let the community know that, again, that this is a no drone zone. We want a safe event for everyone to include international visitors. And so by leveraging social media, I think we have a good opportunity to put that message out there.
I did a bad job asking questions. I guess specifically when it comes to threats. I mean, nowadays, you've got to monitor Reddit and Facebook and Instagram. Like, how do you guys go about doing now? There's so much activity on social media.
Yeah, I think it's the same answer. It's actually a plus for us, right? So information travels a lot faster today than it did, 30 years ago, right, during the Olympics in Atlanta. So we obviously utilize that information for early notifications and as well as our partners, right? So with the real-time crime centers and real-time information centers, all that social media presence, we find that it reports stuff quicker and provides more information on an early basis that then our folks, both investigators and our intel folks, can work with to either address a concern or get ahead of a concern.
Were there lessons learned from the 1996 Olympics you guys hope to apply to the World Cup?
I don't think so. I don't have an answer.
Absolutely. Law enforcement has evolved tremendously since 1996, and so we will put forth everything that we have learned and developed through that time. Many of us were not even working in a law enforcement capacity at that time, right? But I will say that our tactics and techniques have definitely evolved, and we will be leveraging those to everyone's benefit, to include the players, participants, and the community at large.
When you talk about manpower, thank you. When you talk about manpower, do you have like a number of personnel, like hundreds? Are we talking about FBI personnel working the World Cup games, or can you release that information?
So not to release a number per se, but we have enough employees here in Atlanta to be able to cover down on an event of this magnitude. We have brought in some reinforcements, whether that's, you know, for some of our tactical teams, or whether that's for supervisors that have specialties in certain areas, particularly maybe like counter UAS, right? So we have brought in some reinforcements, but actually Atlanta is equipped to handle an event of this magnitude.
What about the chain of command? I mean, we're hearing from obviously agencies, federal, local, state, everything. It seems like every agency has their own instant command center, whether it's APD or the Secret Service, the White House, the FBI. Who's leading, and how does that collaboration evolve?
So that collaboration starts from the top, right? And quite naturally, there's a White House task force that is responsible for FIFA, and everyone falls under that chain of command. And each entity, obviously, myself being the SAC here, everyone that works for the FBI will fall under me, but we are all collaborating within one structure, and so we will all be in the same room to be on the same sheet of music, and everyone has their own mission that we're going to adhere to ensure we're doing our part to make things safe.
I think we're talking a lot
I've
about
seen other large-scale events in the past. Thank you. Super Bowl, College National Football Championship. How is the FIFA World Cup different from a preparation standpoint for the FBI, different than these other events that Atlanta has seen?
You know what? It's not. The only thing that's different about FIFA is the duration. The duration is something that is unusual, right? 39 days from start to finish of a tournament that is happening and that is having an impact on our city. We have 8 games to cover, one of them being more significant than the rest because it's a semifinal. So that's what's different about it. However, the preparation remains the same, right? And that preparation involves routine, it involves practice. Our tactical teams have been practicing, commingled with other tactical teams from other agencies for months leading up to this. It is to bring a familiarity and a level of competency to each other so that if there is something, we're equipped and we're ready to go.
Will you all be concentrated in the downtown Atlanta core, specifically throughout the city? Will you be on the Beltline? Will you be at MARTA station?
I think you will see an enhanced law enforcement present throughout the city. Particularly, obviously, downtown is where the FIFA events are, so we will be there. But you will see a heavy law enforcement presence because we want everyone to know it is safe. Come out, come enjoy, and have a good time.
I also want to talk. Okay. We've talked a lot about ground, we talked a lot about air, but we have cyber on the table now.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about how we're going to prevent more cyber attacks on infrastructure here in Atlanta that's crucial for us to operate.
Yes, all teams, when I say the FBI is all there and ready to participate in working, we are, and that includes across the board. That's our criminal team, that's our criminal program, that's our cyber program, that's our counterintelligence, that's our counterterrorism. Everyone has a role to play. That tracking and monitoring of cyber activity has been ongoing, and so our teams are working to ensure that if there is something, we're in line to mitigate it.
And last question about sort of a follow-up with human trafficking, working with GB and other agents, especially with large sporting events. Is there specific separate resources that are going to be monitoring that, whether it's online or in person, given that this is going to be one of the biggest ones after the Olympics when it comes to specifically trafficking of victims here in Atlanta?
So I'm sorry.
Is there going to be additional resources put in to prevent trafficking for the FIFA games over the last 39-day period?
No, so additional resources meaning there is a greater presence online for us. There's a greater focus that is online to monitor human trafficking for this particular reason because there's large events. But you have to remember, FIFA is going to be in 11 U.S. cities, so it's not just Atlanta that we're monitoring that. So it's across the board. So our FBI headquarters is playing a significant role in that coordination piece.
A couple more questions if we got.
If I can just go back to the drones for a second, just to make sure I understood correctly.
FBI Atlanta will be taking the lead when it comes to monitoring for and potentially interdicting drones that are in the air. And the other point, if you can explain a little bit about, you're going to have people who say, you know what, I'm just taking pictures with my drone. Why is this such a big deal? Can you explain what the potential concern is, what the potential threat that is presented by a drone being in the air over a large event like this?
Sure. I mean, you've seen it across the board. You've seen it everywhere right now, the way drones are being leveraged for nefarious reasons, right? And so we just want to eliminate that potential by having a no-fly zone and having teams on the ground that can mitigate a drone that goes up, even if it is for a hobbyist or pictures, as you said. Right, this is not the time to have a hobbyist when there's so many people that are there for a particular event. So to keep it safe, a no-fly zone is what's being enacted.
Do you have specifics about the no-fly zone itself, where it is, how high, how wide?
That's a good question. Aaron, do you have that info?
All that information for the no drone zone can be found on the FAA's website. They'll have more specific information regarding the NOTAM, which is the notice to airmen.
Okay, so it's not just around the stadium, but is it around other parts of the city too?
That information can be found by the FAA. We'll be enforcing the FAA's no-fly zone.
Last question?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, we're going to launch a drone over here if you want some drone video, and then we'll move a robot around too for you.
Stick around.
He's going to bring it up over here.